Welcome to the Boxing Debate Arena, boys and girls. Christmas time is just around the corner. So cozy up with some hot cocoa, put on your favorite boxing match, and enjoy.
All right.
I hope every... go ahead.
That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. Sorry, I thought you were over. All right, guys.
Oh, good.
Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. Whoa.
Yay.
Let's begin with some shoutouts. Official boxing scorecard is in there. Michael Stott, Triple JJJ, and Body Aces, the first people to join us. Official boxing scorecard said someone posted a line on BDA Discord today. They have Fury as a favorite as for now. I'm not surprised. I was looking for that. I'm on Bet365 and I don't see anything yet, so I'm gonna look on other betting websites. We have in the Discord already Gonzalo, Pete, Scalebender, and Revolucion. So guys, welcome to the show.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Pete?
A little shotgun show. I like this. Our schedule. Lucho is getting nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
Thanks
Shotgun
for having me.
Saturday
It's been a
night.
while, boy.
People, the phone lines are open, so if you want to call in and let us know, well, give us your early predictions for Tyson Fury and that Deontay Wilder rematch. I already know that Deontay Wilder, yeah, he's going to get knocked out. That's my prediction, and I'm going to stick to it until February 22nd.
I can feel that. As a matter of fact, you know what? February 22nd? That's a pretty quick turnaround for a Wilder fight. That's what? November, December, January, February. 3 months.
3 months, yeah. I read somewhere 13 weeks or something like that.
That's a big, that's a really quick turnover for him.
Yeah, but somebody mentioned in a comment section that it's not as if Wilder really got hurt against Ortiz, which I guess are correct. I mean, it wasn't a tough fight.
He was getting touched. He was getting touched up.
Yeah.
Like Ruiz was touching him with ease. All right. Did I miss that, or did I just?
No, you're right. No, he was getting hit, but I mean, it's not like he was badly hurt. It wasn't like he was. There was a lot of punches thrown. I think there was 10 punches around or less. These are heavyweights, so yeah, true. But I don't know. It wasn't like, in my opinion, like he really pushed himself in this fight. What do you guys think?
This fucking Power Rangers outfit. Do you see that the outfit they wore on the way out there?
Oh, dear Lord.
That's embarrassing.
Jesus Christ.
They're getting
Yeah, I
embarrassed.
haven't been on the show in a while, but man, after watching that fight, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like Ortiz just didn't even. I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. He just barely even. He just barely even got out of the way of that jab, and then that right hand obviously just did the deal. But the thing about it is, man, he was touching Wilder up, man. I just never. Were you guys shocked that he was coming forward like that, Ortiz? That he was coming forward?
Not really, because he was using a jab this time the whole time. You know what happens with
you guys have already discussed this shit, so I'm coming.
Yeah, no, but
I'm coming late.
We can talk about it a little bit more here. The thing is, with Wilder, you start becoming confident because he doesn't do shit, right? So you're like, okay, now I'm gonna get him this time, and then you start becoming a little bit more confident. You start coming forward, and you start becoming more aggressive, and that's when he catches you. I'm not surprised actually, but Tyson Fury, he's another thing, man. This guy feints all the time. He's much faster than Luis Ortiz. I want Tyson Fury to come forward like that because he will be way more successful because of the things that I just mentioned. And that's how I think Tyson Fury is going to knock him out. Look at the 12th round. This is what he should have done from the beginning. I think he moved a little bit too much. He clowned around a little bit too much. And you can't do that. And by the way, Tyson Fury, he must understand by now that the judges are not going to be on his side. I mean, one judge gave the fight to Deontay Wilder, even despite the knockdowns. So Wilder didn't even need the knockdowns to win the fucking fight, according to one fucking judge. I think it was a Mexican judge.
Yeah, Rocha,
yeah. So Fury needs to understand all of these things. He needs to understand, I need to go for the fucking knockout. Sorry for the swearing. Getting
Let me ask
passionate
you.
here.
Don't worry about it. Swear away. Hey, listen. What were the cards? Anybody see the cards up till the knockout in that Ortiz fight?
Yeah, somebody mentioned them. I think. Let me get them, but 58. Oh, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't remember exactly. Let me get those. In the meantime,
I can tell you what you could see where Ortiz was starting to get tired, like where he would just. I was shocked that he came forward, but I guess in hindsight I shouldn't be because I mean, it's like you can't back up against Wilder, and you can't. The dangerous part, I couldn't believe he was. I guess it was just fatigue setting in towards like maybe what round did he get knocked out? The 7th, 8th? I can't remember.
8th? No, 7th. 7th.
7th.
Yeah.
7th. So like about the 5th or 6th round, he started just kind of standing in the middle of the ring at range with Wilder. And I'm like, God damn it, do not just stand there, like right at the end of, what would be Wilder's punch. I just didn't expect him to counter him like that. But hey, Deontay Wilder is he's a fucking animal. He's an animal.
He has power. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just this thing that he's not the hardest heavyweight puncher of all time, man.
No,
because he's been fighting bombs.
That punch didn't even land flush.
He fought Tyson Fury. He couldn't knock him out. Why is that? Because he has a fucking chin. These other guys are either old or have no fucking chins.
Yeah, I was.
Don't get me started.
I don't know. You're right. No, you're right. I agree with you on Tyson Fury. Got a little too much. I think that's kind of what led to the knockdown in the 12th round. Is I think Tyson Fury. That's got to be exhausting moving around like that, erratic like that.
Mm-hmm.
In the 7th, 8th round of their first fight, he did sit down on his punches and give Wilder a good shot, give him something to think about. But yeah, I mean, those scorecards from that Ortiz fight better have been, favoring Ortiz up until that knockout. They better have been. But you heard Wilder after the fight. He was calculating. He was calculating the whole time. He was calculating.
He was okay. Can I
He's
just
full
say
of
something
shit.
about? Okay, that may be true. Listen, I don't know about that. I'm not sure, but you could see it that way, right? He was calculating, or he just didn't know what the hell to do.
He didn't know what the fuck. He was beating on his chest. He took those body shots. They hurt him.
Yeah, that was part of the plan, Pete. That was part of the plan, man. Come on, man. I'm still not sold on Wilder. Please call in, guys. Don't be shy. I know we have a phone call right now. All right, I'm gonna take it.
Jesus.
Nope, we have Vinny Mac. Vinny, what's up?
Mr. Buccio.
How you doing, Mr. Buccio?
Shut up!
What's up, Vinny?
How you doing, sir? Who are you, by the way? I'm doing very well, Mr. Buccio. Thank you.
That's Revolucion in there.
How you doing, Mr. Revolution? I would like to let you know that what you said about Fury, if he does that tactic, in terms of coming forward, that's not going to be good for him.
Okay. Why is that? He's gonna get knocked out? Because Vinny, he did that. Tyson Fury did that in the 12th.
Mr. Buccio.
Tyson Fury did that in the 12th round, after getting knocked down.
Correct, but I still stand by that was an 11th count, Mr. Buccio. But besides the fact, yes, he did rattle Mr. Wilder. I was kind of in shock myself. Part of it, I think he was kind of tired, Mr. Wilder. But I think in the rematch, Mr. Wilder is going to be a lot more aggressive. and end it a little bit earlier. Kind of similar to Mr. Ortiz, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But it'll still be the same result. Mr. Wilder
You
has
know what?
that
I think Vinnie
magical
Mac's
right hand.
partially right, just partially though. So don't get too crazy, Vinnie Mac. But you know what? I think
How is
as
it
far as
partial?
coming
Can you
forward
please
goes,
elaborate?
quiet for a second. Quiet for a second.
Go
The
ahead.
thing is, I think that what gave Wilder a problem with Ortiz might have been that southpaw look. You know what I'm trying to say? I think it seemed like that was more than anything what allowed Ortiz to come forward. But that's all. Go ahead, Vinnie Mac.
Yes. I just believe, yes, even though Mr. Fury did rattle Mr. Wilder in the 12th round, I still think Mr. Ortiz has far more better power. And I just believe Mr. Wilder would just run through Mr. Fury. I think WWE has done him really bad,
What?
and I just do not think his focus is in boxing. And Mr. Wilder, we know his focus is in boxing.
I think that's
He's trying
wishful
to get
thinking.
to
Look,
the
look,
yeah.
motherfucker, this
No.
ain't Reservoir Dogs with Mr. Wilder, Mr. Ortiz, Mr. Blue, Mr. Pink.
To this day.
Mr. Revolucion, I am disappointed with your language.
I'm sorry.
All right,
I am too,
Vinny,
Mr.
listen, Vinny, I
Bucco.
think
The
am too.
MF
I'm
word
kinda
is
like-
a classic.
I know, and Vinny, I think this is wishful thinking from your part. You are wishing, you're hoping that Tyson Fury is mentally broken down and that he's not focused on boxing. That's what you want, but it's not gonna happen, all right? Tyson Fury is ready for this
No,
rematch.
Mr. Bucco, that's not what I'm thinking, Mr. Bucco. You're wrong about this. I actually know that Mr. Fury is not focused. I know. I can see it in his eyes.
All right, Vinny, well, we'll have to find out on February 22nd. Anything else you want to add?
Adorable.
Yes. I'm just excited for Mr. Jamal Charlo's fight coming up in December 7th. So I'll be looking forward to that. Besides that, happy Thanksgiving, and I will be calling back tonight. Thank you.
All right, take care. He's not excited about that Ruiz fight and Anthony, or whatever. Charlo, out of all people. Let's take another phone call here. Charlo. 757, you're on the air, 757.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Welcome to the show.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'm a first-time caller. It's an honor to be on the show.
Yeah, what do we call
I
you?
just wanted to, Sonny's Boxing Talk.
Right, Sonny.
Yes, sir.
Go
What
ahead.
up, Sonny?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man? I just wanted to let everybody know because we're witnessing what we're witnessing right here with Deontay Wilder. A lot of people don't understand,
Mm-hmm.
but we're witnessing history here. We're witnessing history. If you look at Deontay Wilder, he started his boxing career at a very late age. And
Mm-hmm.
you look at Luis Ortiz, he had over 500 amateur fights. Luis Ortiz is a very, very dangerous fighter,
Mm-hmm.
despite what everyone says about his age.
But what do you mean
And-
despite, though? I mean, he is a good boxer, but he's an old boxer, right? Like, that plays into the...
Luis Ortiz,
Go ahead.
Luis Ortiz is a pure boxer in his purest form. But the thing that is so different about Deontay Wilder is this: he is something that we've never seen before. He doesn't do things like conventional fighters do.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't throw a jab like it's taught to throw. He doesn't move in a ring as we're taught to move. So a lot of Hall of Famers are really jealous of Deontay because they trained since they were young, like 5 and 8 years old, up until they're grown, and he's doing things that experts look at as wrong. But the way he does it in a way that is it's history making. Like it takes one punch with him.
Mhm.
He says that you're going to have to basically fight a perfect fight because it only takes him 2 seconds. So he already said out his mouth, like you pulled up the scorecard, like Deontay Wilder does not care about the scorecard. He's gonna try to get you to make a mistake and put you in a position to where he can throw that right hand, and once it lands, it's good night. And one more thing, I don't want to be long with it. I know there's other callers. One more thing I want to point out during the Tyson Fury's fight. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was reports of Deontay Wilder injuring his hand. So during his whole camp for Tyson Fury, he didn't even throw the right hand. So
Okay.
he
Do you
waited
also
until that fight to start to try to.
Sorry to interrupt, but did you also hear about the eye injury that Wilder sustained or had before? Or I don't know if during the fight. I don't know what happened. He had an eye injury for that Ortiz rematch. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear anything about that. But he, as far as I understand, he doesn't really talk. A lot of fighters, they fight with injuries. You know what I'm saying? But like when we find out that things of that nature happen, it makes you look at the fight different. You have to look at the Stavern fight. Wilder, history is being made because he gets better every fight. The Stavern fight. The first fight went 12 rounds. First guy ever to go 12 rounds and not hit the canvas. Second fight, what happens? He gets knocked out. Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is
Okay, time out. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead,
yes,
Revolucion.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Okay. My question to you is so basically what it seems like is we're trying to use Luis Ortiz as the barometer for how good Deontay Wilder is. That's his best opponent, right? You would agree with that?
Luis Ortiz is arguably, if I said it wrong, one of the most avoided heavyweights in the division.
Oh, okay. So, but
That's
okay,
fact.
and Wilder fought him, and so Ortiz is Wilder's best win, right?
I would say so. Yes.
Okay. Have you seen the 3 fights that Ortiz had between the first Wilder match and the rematch? Because there's a clear decline of talent between all 3. You can see a progression of him getting worse and worse and worse.
Well, I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't say that. I mean, you. We can.
Why would you say that though? Did you see the fights?
I mean, styles makes fights. Just like Tyson Fury's last fight. You know, we can say the same thing about his last fight, but yet.
All right.
Tyson
So what's
Fury
Christian
is still
Hammer's
a great
style?
fighter. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Then Ortiz's last opponent before Wilder was Christian Hammer. Okay, so what is Christian Hammer's style? Why did he give Ortiz such a hard time?
His last fight before Deontay Wilder
Was with
I
Christian
would say
Hammer,
that,
a Romanian guy.
I would say, I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like after someone fights Deontay Wilder, they're not going to be the same.
Okay, so he fought.
Did he knock him out?
No,
Yeah.
Hammer took him the distance. My point is, so what I'm trying to bring out is the rematch really doesn't prove anything. Okay, he already beat Ortiz.
Yeah.
He beat him a second time. We could see Luis Ortiz was declining, and you just said that once you fight Wilder once, you're not the same after. So he already knocked him out once, and then he's basically taking his own sloppy seconds. You know, he's taking his own leftovers.
All right, can I respond to that?
Sure. I made my point. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll be quick as possible. I know you got other callers. All right.
Awesome.
The same thing that you said about Wilder can be said about Tyson's Fury last opponent. Now, Now, arguably slow. So, even with everything that you just said, Luis Ortiz is still one of the most avoided fighters. With everything that you just said, he's still one of the most avoided fighters.
Anthony Joshua wanted to fight him. I'm sorry. One of the reasons why that Deontay Wilder wanted to rematch him was because there was controversy in the fight. There was a little bit of controversy, and on top of Deontay Wilder's good heart, wanting to give Luis Ortiz another shot because no one else wants to fight him.
But not an immediate. He didn't give him an immediate rematch. No, if there's controversy you want to clear up, you get on it.
Dominic Brazil.
So there was controversy. Then he had 2 more fights, and then a year and a half later fights a much older guy to prove that there wasn't controversy.
I'm gonna give you an example.
You know,
Dillian White. Dillian White wanted to fight Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder said, "Okay, I'll give you a shot. All you got to do is beat Luis Ortiz." Why didn't he take that?
Because Wilder.
Can I respond to that? Can I respond to that, Revolution?
Take it away.
Yes.
Of course.
No, I'm just gonna say to the caller, look, just because you're the champion doesn't mean you're the authority or the one that tells a fighter what they're supposed to do. The WBC, the belt that he holds, is the one that decides who he's gonna fight, especially when it comes to mandatories that have been waiting in line at the time. He had been waiting like for 500 days, almost like a year and a half. So look, Wilder is nobody to tell what Dillian White is supposed to do. That's the WBC's job.
Well,
okay.
True.
Let me respond to that. When a champion beats his mandatory, right? The champion normally gets to pick who they fight, right? So
he hadn't faced no mandatories. No. Who has he faced his mandatories? Till just recently, he faced, I think, Stavern was a mandatory. But at the time, he had faced no mandatories in 2 years. He had no right to pick who he was going to fight.
No, Stavern was his mandatory. That was based off of things that wasn't Deontay Wilder's fault. A lot of people popped dirty.
Well, what I'm trying to say, at the time that Dillian White wanted to fight him, I believe Deontay Wilder hadn't fought a mandatory in like over 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he was obligated if like the WBC would have pushed it, but obviously the WBC didn't. The WBC would have told him, this is the guy you have to face. Deontay Wilder has no authority to tell him, oh, you have to fight this other guy first before you fight me.
I mean, I disagree. I feel like, because, well, at one point, Dillian White, he was about to be the mandatory, but he popped dirty, and there's still no B sample. But
this is after the fact. This just happened recently. This was like before.
Ortiz tested positive too. Well, PEDs, yeah.
Can I jump in with another little quick point, possibly? Everybody's done.
Go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt anybody. Okay. Another question for the caller. Okay, say you're watching a movie. All right, this might sound a little out there, but okay. Say you're watching a movie, and you've got the hero and the villain. Okay, and the hero wants to fight the villain. The villain might do something like, you know what? Instead of fighting me, you got to fight this guy first. All right, it's a cowardly thing.
It is.
All right, it's not like something. Why does that make Wilder good? That people that want to fight him, he's telling you, no, you have to fight this guy.
You know what I read today?
He's putting levels of separation between him.
I read today?
If he's a champ, he should just take the fight.
Hey, Revolucion. Wilder said today. I read something today where Wilder said that he fought Dominic Brazil because Brazil called him out. So you only need to call him out to get a fight. When it comes to Dillian White, you gotta go through Ortiz. Come on.
Yeah, but you know they had personal dealings. You know they had.
Oh yeah, let's make it personal.
Let me respond to what this guy just said. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. What is your name?
Revolution.
The guy that just said
Revolution.
Revolution. And,
Yeah.
all right, so the same thing could be said with Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn basically said the same thing towards Wilder. They had
But you know what?
Wilder trying to
But you know
cut
what?
through
Okay,
all these
maybe I'll
different.
agree with you. Fuck Anthony Joshua. You know what? He's an asshole. And if I say that,
But
then Deontay Wilder just did the same thing. So by that logic, he's an asshole. Like, I don't care if somebody else did the same thing he's doing. Wilder is doing something that's cowardly and shitty. That he's telling,
here's the
oh,
thing.
you're my
Here's the-
mandatory? No, fight this
here-
guy who I just beat first. You can't just
Let me
say,
say
you
this,
can't
and
just
I'm
point
gonna
a
let
finger and say somebody else did it too, so that's okay.
Let me just say this one last thing, and I'm gonna
All
I'm
right.
gonna go ahead and get
All
off.
right.
Thanks you guys so much for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, dude. We always love debating.
Do you want to say one last thing?
Oh, of course, me
Okay.
too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Deontay Wilder is on the path of
Don't say it.
unifying the championship belts. You know, Dillian White is someone who lost to someone Deontay Wilder has been trying to make a fight with. Dominic.
That means
Brazil-
absolutely nothing because he
no,
never fought him.
Dillian White. I don't know. In my opinion, not only my opinion, but a lot of other people's opinion, don't feel like he really deserves a shot against Deontay Wilder. He wants to take the easy route in. So when you look at, I was trying to give an example. Errol Spence. He had a mandatory. El Campo. He had to fight that fight. Normally, after a champion fights his mandatory, he can basically pick who he want to fight.
So basically, before he didn't take the mandatories, but now that he fought a mandatory, you're saying he could pick whoever he wants to fight. To where before he didn't fight anybody just because he was avoiding them and didn't fight the mandatories either. So now it's like he's got what you're saying, that he's like the superstar in the making. He's getting that credit to where he can dictate now to where he can fight whoever he wants when he basically has nobody on his resume except an old Luis Ortiz. That fought in the amateurs, he had 500 fights, but that was 3, 4 round 6 fights. And now that he's older, you know, he's still a fighter, but he's not a guy that's gonna be there after like the 7th or 8th round. He's like a knockout waiting to happen with somebody with skills. Ortiz is good. He's just old, man.
He's old, man.
Who are you talking about?
Luis Ortiz.
Luis.
Nobody can beat Father Time. Not even the most skilled fighter, especially at heavyweight, I think.
Even with a hairpiece, you can't.
Hey, listen, we gotta move on. Thanks for the phone call, Sonny. What was it again? Sonny Boxing Talk.
Sonny.
Sonny.
Yo, thanks for calling in, Sonny.
Sonny.
Yes,
Take care, man.
Thanks for having me.
Oops, sorry, man. I pressed it. All right. We have another phone call. That was a great call. Call back again next time, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we like.
Yeah, we need more people to disagree with us.
Yeah, we like that. We want
so
people.
we can have that friendly little discourse without getting.
Yeah, can I say something really fast, Mucho?
We'll love each other.
Okay, fast.
Still loving.
Older fighters, yeah, they're supposed to age slower. But if you're a guy that needs to throw a lot of punches to have like where this guy doesn't hit you with one shot to keep him busy, no, it doesn't matter if you're heavyweight. If you're 40 years old and you got to throw a lot of punches, that's going to work against you. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, 470, you're on the air, 470.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I just, just listen to this previous caller. I was just like, wow, this guy said Dillian White doesn't deserve a shot at the WBC heavyweight title
until he fights Ortiz.
Dillian White, right. Dillian White has more wins over top 10 ranked, top 15 ranked WBC opponents than all of the other contenders that Deontay Wilder's been facing. He beat Parker, he beat Rivas, he beat Chisora, he beat Lucas Brown. And all of those guys, 2 out of the 4 of those guys by knockout. So he's going to say that White doesn't deserve it Bermain Stavern and Dominic Brazil do. Okay, well that's just crazy.
And Luis Ortiz.
In terms of your
Twice.
Right. So your show today, the Fury. So you hear this narrative being pushed that Tyson Fury was scared of the rematch. They keep people repeating this. Let me ask these people the question. Tyson Fury came to the United States, Deontay Wilder's home country. He fought on Deontay Wilder's network. Do you think Deontay Wilder would go to the UK and fight Tyson Fury on his network?
No, hell no.
Oh.
and they want to say that Tyson Fury is scared. Well, he did the smart thing. He signed with Top Rank, so now he's got protection, right? Can't get robbed really anymore. And Top Rank said, let's push this fight back another year. Let's get more marketing and more promotion. We'll do it on February 22nd. So, I hear a lot of wishful thinking from the Wilder crowd. Outside of Tyson Fury, they act as though Wilder. The fact is, if Tyson Fury hadn't played around in that 12th round in the last fight, we wouldn't even be having this discussion right now. We wouldn't be talking about Wilder. We wouldn't be talking about Wilder being the GOAT, being one of the greatest, better than Ali, all the craziness I've been reading this week. We wouldn't be having all these discussions. And the other thing that they like to repeat over and over again is how late he started in boxing. The dude is almost 35 years old. He started boxing when he was 20 years old. So he's had 15 years of experience. They talk about this guy like he's some young kid, who just picked up boxing 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of propaganda going on about this guy. I can't wait till this February 22nd fight. I think as long as Fury just does what he did the first fight, but does it better, stays focused, I think he takes the fight. The other point I wanted to make, a lot of people criticize his but if you look at his last opponent, Otto Wallin, that guy had his hands up. He was fundamentally sound. He was boxing all 12 rounds. He was very fit and in shape. In my opinion, Luis Ortiz, you can say, oh, blah, 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 Cuban background, blah, 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 whatever. The guy only has the stamina and fitness at his age to fight for 6 rounds. Wilder knew that.
Exactly.
Yo.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
And when you look at the Fury fight, he got a freak cut. Okay, he got hit with a good blow, but he had a freak cut. So let's take into consideration, how would Deontay Wilder deal with that kind of cut?
The urgency,
the urgency. There's a whole different variable there when we talk the Wallin fight. Okay, secondly, let's think about this. Now you got me imagining a fight between Ortiz and Wallin. All right, and I just kind of look at Wallin as like a younger version of Christian Hammer. Christian Hammer was a little bit younger and a little more spry on that night. He would have taken Ortiz out, I'm sure.
Good comparison.
Right? And
absolutely.
And it's not just because they're a couple Euro bums or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And one more little thing I just realized too, while we're talking about all these, how these arguments that the Wilder fanboys construct. One of which is Dillian White wanted to fight Wilder, so Wilder tells White, you have to fight Ortiz first to get through me. Okay, at that time when he was saying that to White, Ortiz was somebody he had already beaten once. All right? So what happens when White doesn't do that? He fights Ortiz again. Like, isn't that kind of weird? Like, you beat a guy, and then someone wants to fight you, so you're like, all right, hey, you got to get through him. You appoint somebody as your gatekeeper, and then you fight your own gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't tell. Wilder can't tell people who he's going to fight, and especially at the time he hadn't faced a mandatory.
Well, yeah, that's just fundamental. That's just
wrong.
fundamentally fucked up.
He is the king after all, the king. Somebody called him like that on Twitter. He's the king. Why do you hate the king? I'm like, why is he a king? He's a WBC champion only. But anyways.
Yeah. Can I say something to the caller?
Yeah, one last thing.
Yeah, and okay, so White has never fought for a world title. Just keep that in mind, everybody. And to be fair, yeah, Wilder started late, but once you're a champion, there's like no excuses. I mean, that's your own bad. You started late. Hey, be happy you at least became world champion. Now you're gonna do what God gave you and what you have.
Hey,
He got that power. It's like a double crutch because he relies on that power too much. He
mm,
had no choice. Okay, so I'm not gonna open up and try to do all kinds of crazy things when I'm gonna get out box to give the other guy more opportunities. I'm just gonna do my whole right hand thing and try to parry the jab with my left hand, and that's what he does, and it's been able to work for him. But Ortiz was beating them. Is just he tired out. If he faces a fighter that's gonna keep him busy, like Fury did the first fight, I mean, he had that lull where he was climbing around. But a fit in shape guy that is not gonna look to, because Wilder tries to counter the counter punch, but with Fury, he keeps his hands so busy that he's gonna not give him the opportunity to counter back. Not gonna commit to his punches. Fury's gonna throw punches, and when Wilder throws that right hand, he's gonna come right behind with more punches, and that's not gonna give Wilder the opportunity to try to land that right hand because he's gonna be too busy trying to defend himself.
Good point.
Yeah, but it's still a good fight. 50.
Caller, anything else?
Yeah, just to respond about Wilder's, he started late. AJ started boxing at 18. He's 30 years old now, so he's had even less experience, less time in the ring, less years, and won more belts, fought more WBC top 10 ranked contenders than Deontay Wilder. I say this. When I first saw Wilder beat Bermane Stavern back in 2015. I was excited. I was like, "Wow, we got an American champ."
Mm-hmm.
He'll take on the Klitschko's. We're about to take,
Mm-hmm.
And then I just observed one thing after another. Like Klitschko, he's not ready.
The Spilka fight.
Like, what? He's not ready.
Good point,
Then
man.
it was Povetkin, another excuse. Then it was Anthony Joshua. That didn't happen. Then it's Dylan White. That didn't happen. Then it was, I think Chisora tried to fight him. It's just every time there's a guy who wants to challenge this guy, outside of Tyson Fury, who was out for a few years. He never wants to meet the challenge. And that's the problem with boxing today. Is like these fighters, it's like they want to manufacture the demand. They don't fight who the fan, it's like the schoolyard, right? You see one kid in the schoolyard and he's beating up everybody. You see another kid and then everybody wants to see them fight. When Wilder sees another strong guy, he finds some way out of the fight. He finds some way to duck, dodge, swerve the fight, and then he'll fight who he wants to fight. He knocks him out, pounds his chest, and then all his fanboys scream that he's the greatest fighter since better than Ali. And
Yeah, good point,
that's
man.
what we're gonna have to hear.
All right, hold on, Gonzalo. Hold on. Okay, Gonzalo, we
Yes.
need to move on. Caller, thanks for that phone call. Call back again next time, all right? Take care.
For sure. Thank you.
I just wanted to bring a really good point up really fast.
When you say fast, it has to be fast.
Fast. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Go ahead.
That's the reason why they want to make him a superstar, so he can be the A side and request all these demands. That's why.
No, you're right. And Gonzalo, let's hope that they don't give him the WBC franchise championship, although he already said that he wouldn't take it, but that remains to be seen. All right, let's take another phone call. 347, you're on the air. 347.
Yeah, the last caller was an excuse. The excuse of a man.
Is this X?
Who the hell do you think it is? You fucking haters.
Oh, X. All right, what's on your mind, X?
First of all, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all you losers, all you haters. I ain't just talking about you guys. I'm talking about the chat. Always dissing on my brother. Always throwing shit at my brother. All he does is knock people out.
So what's your prediction then for February the 22nd?
I'm going to say that ugly wrestler looks like Big John Studd without hair. Okay? That's what he should be doing, is wrestling. I'm saying he ain't even going to show up. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
The fight's not going to happen. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Well,
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
The fight's not gonna happen. You don't want. I think X. I don't think you want the fight to happen. That's what's happening here. You don't want Wilder to get beat up.
Listen, man, Wilder's the greatest ever. He's better than Muhammad Ali. Better than Cassius Clay. Are they the same people? Yeah, I think they're the same people. My bad. He's better than Joe Louis. He's better than Lennox Lewis. He's better than the Klitschko's. He ain't want to fight him because he didn't want to kill them.
He's a good man. All right, Tex, anything else?
Yeah, I just want to say peace to you, Mr. BDA, man. You got to get back on, man. I don't like Bucho too much. Bucho don't like me, and I don't like him.
All right.
He needs to be back on he needs to be doing these shows. And fuck Recognize the Matrix. That's all I got to say. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Kwanzaa. Take care.
Peace out, X, and go somewhere and fuck yourself.
All right. That was X. All right, before we get to the panel again, let's take another phone call. 702, you're on the air, 702.
Yeah, what it do, nigga?
Oh, Hancho.
It's Head Hancho in this mother. Fuck
Hey,
it, and fuck that last caller, that bitch-ass nigga.
Hancho, I'm looking at the predictions over here, and you said Ortiz 9th round TKO stoppage.
Nah, nigga. Nah, you misquoted me. I had Wilder in the 7th round. Knockout.
What happened? What went wrong?
Think you must have wrote it down wrong. Yo, first let me say, fuck the UK boxers. They're garbage. Fuck Dillian White. He can't box for shit. He almost got his ass beat by Parker. We don't want another UK champion. Get his ass up all the way out of here.
All right. What about the rematch? Go ahead.
Second, fuck all this Thanksgiving bullshit. That turkey can suck my dick. I don't give a fuck about Thanksgiving.
All right.
Fuck all the callers and the... All right, let's get the boxing before. I just wanted to say all that. Fuck Thanksgiving.
To this day.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, that goofy caller that called in the last one. Recognize? Is that goofy name?
No, that's
one
X.
Goofy ass nigga.
That wasn't recognized.
Yeah, whatever his name was. He looks like he belongs in the Dillian White camp. All these UK boxers are garbage. Let's talk about the real heavyweight. Deontay and Andy Ruiz. That's my nigga, Andy Ruiz. He gonna be the undisputed champ. Fuck, who's this, Tyson Fury? This cokehead ass nigga? He got a rematch for what? For beating that guy, for beating that Swedish meatball? What did he do? He beat a Swedish meatball. Tired of all these goofy heavyweights getting rematches.
So who should Wilder fight then?
Yeah. Wilder should fight anybody he wants, as long as they're from New York or somewhere like in the U.S. Tired of these UK fighters are like C-level fighters. It's all smoke screen. It's all like magic. You think, look at this goofy Wilder. He couldn't even beat a Swedish meatball. What you think about that? Now Andy Ruiz is a real fighter. You see, he put in work. He beat that British ass and sent it right. What's his name? Anthony Joshua came in first class. Andy Ruiz put his ass back in coach in the back of the plane, shipped him right back to the UK. He said, fuck you and Ireland.
Oh. Anybody wants to ask?
Where that nigga from.
Anybody wants to talk to Honcho here?
No.
These niggas
Yes, I want.
They know Hey, yo, Estrada, you're doing a lot better, though. You stop putting a lot of these UK niggas on. First of all, I couldn't understand them. And second of all, their take on boxing was garbage. The only boxers they know about are Dillian White, Chisora, and Tyson Fury. Nah, nigga, all three of them are garbage.
Head honcho railing on the UK guys again. I like it.
This guy's talking about people only knowing this shit, and it's funny as hell. But let me ask you something. I'm not going to ask you a Jeopardy question. I just want no, bro. Stop talking. I'm going to talk for a second.
Honcho, hold on. Go ahead, Mark.
You said that Tyson Fury's a crackhead. So why did Wilder get schooled by a crackhead and they had to rob him on his home network in a different location? If he's so damn good.
I didn't say he was a crackhead. I said he was a.
You did say he was a crackhead. You said it 4 times.
Cokehead.
I said
cokehead. Okay, so cokehead.
Same.
Cause Wilder can't box either. I didn't say Wilder's great, but at least he's knocking people out.
But you're also saying that you shouldn't fight anybody from the UK. Only people from the US, even though his last fight was against a Cuban. He's not from the US. So who should he fight? Would you like to see him fight Jarrell Miller or Kovnatsky? You mentioned New York. Both those guys are in New York.
Yeah, what about it?
Okay, so you'd like to see him fight them. Neither of them are from the US. One's from Belize and one is from Poland. I mean, if UK people don't know the boxing, how come you didn't know that and I did?
I didn't know who was from where. Never
Well,
said head honcho know everything, nigga. Don't ever say I don't know shit.
Bro, you didn't. Last time I asked you a question, you said this ain't Jeopardy. How the fuck am I supposed to know this? And now you're saying this time around,
nigga,
you know everything.
I didn't know what you were saying. I didn't know what the fuck language you was speaking, nigga. You sounded
Okay,
like
fine. You know everything, right? I'll ask you the most basic question I can think of about boxing.
Yo, that nigga on the panel was trying to be slick last time when I said, what do you call islands in Germany? I meant islands in that part of Germany that, you know, the Russians had. That's what I meant, nigga. He know what I was talking about.
Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about because that's not even a real thing. Now, I'm gonna ask you a basic question so you know everything about boxing. The most basic question, right? Very simple, very easy. You should be able to get this. Who did Floyd Mayweather beat to win his first ever world title?
Question time.
Yo, listen, nigga. I know this. The Bronze Bomber is the world champion and no UK fighter. That's all.
Actually, he's not the world champion. Right now, the world champion's Andy Ruiz. He's the unified heavyweight champion.
And Andy Ruiz, a Mexican. Mexicano, nigga. Mexicano. Yo, if I see that fucking title go back to the UK, I swear to God, I'm throwing my TV out the window, nigga.
You know, there's a
Good,
good
I
chance
hope you
that
do.
both of the-
I hope you do. I hope you throw
in the UK.
the only
All
TV you have out the window.
These niggas on the UK, fuck is a
You a
DAZN,
bum.
nigga.
You a bum.
Never heard of no DAZN.
Honcho's a bum. Honcho's a bum.
Reckless wants to talk to you.
Suck my dick, nigga. Is that you?
Honcho, I'll smack the shit out of you. Stop playing games.
Nigga, you all happy.
I won't even punch you in your face. I won't even punch you in your face. I'll smack you.
You and that turkey suck my dick, nigga.
I'll smack your face in. You fake ass Mexican.
Smashing nothing and you all
Fake ass Mexican. I'll smack your face in.
What you talking about? Happy Thanksgiving, nigga. They killed the
Happy
Indians,
Thanksgiving
nigga.
to you,
don't even
bitch
know
ass
about that.
motherfucker.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I heard you from Jamaica. I heard you from Jamaica, Queens. You talking about you from Jamaica. If I find out where you at, I'm gonna smack you right in your face. Right there.
Shut your ass up. I'm originally from Jamaica, Queens, nigga. You come up here, we gonna pull your panties down and
My man, I run Jamaica, Queens. You understand me? You better bow down when you talk to me.
You don't run nothing, nigga. You busy eating turkey, nigga. Happy Thanksgiving ass nigga.
You busy over here eating tacos, you fake ass Mexican.
What is this shit? Wish him holiday greeting. Next thing you gonna know, he gonna be like, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, cause Jesus died for your freedom.
Yeah, that's how you gonna talk. That's how he's gonna talk after I smack him. I'm gonna say you. What you said? He's gonna say nothing. I ain't say nothing to you, recognize.
I fought for your freedom.
All right, Honcho.
You you and Colin Parkin stuck.
I'll smack that dirty hat off your head.
Yeah, shut this Mexican Mickey Mouse
All right,
up.
Hancho. Thanks for the phone call, man. Call back again next time.
Peace, Hancho.
Take care, man.
Peace, you bitch ass. Peace, bitch ass nigga.
All right.
Man, I missed that whole call, man. God damn it, degenerated, didn't it? Motherfucker.
Yeah. All right, let's take
He's a funny guy, man, but he shouldn't get so fucking personal with this shit, man. You just keep it light, you know. I don't know what this UK thing is. Oh, I got my dad talking.
All right,
Hancho's trolling, man. Hancho's trolling.
All
You
right,
gotta troll him back. That's what you gotta do.
All right, 509, you're on the air. 509. Okay, I don't know what the hell he's doing. Let me try again. 509, you're on the air. 509.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome.
This is Q92. So
Go ahead.
What was the topic? You guys kind of hated on Wilder, basically?
Oh, yeah. We're hating on Wilder, man.
So we do is hate on Wilder. That's it, man. It's the Wilder hating channel.
State your case.
This is Wilder.
Go ahead.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. Like, I don't get the hate for him. You guys calling Ortiz old. Yeah, he is old, but I still think he's like a top 5 heavyweight champ.
Okay.
And,
I don't have nothing against. Can I say something real quickly? I don't have nothing against him beating Ortiz. I thought it was a great knockout, but he already beat him. Is what I'm trying to say. I think there's other fights he can have. I think that he's gonna fight Tyson Fury, so props to him. He's gonna give him a rematch. But if that was to fall out, right? For some reason that was to fall out. Why not fight Dillian White? What's the problem? I mean, I think he beats Dillian White. It's you fanboys, not you. I'm not talking about you because I don't know you, but a lot of the fanboys, it seems like they're looking for excuses not to fight him. When I'm not a fanboy, I could see Wilder beating him. I think that he would be a threat for Wilder. I think he would be a threat while that fight lasts, right? It'd be interesting to see, but why not? Why are you against him fighting Dillian White?
I'm not. But I thought this was a dangerous fight. I thought he got outboxed in the first fight against Ortiz, and he chose to fight him again. I think he should get credit for that. And he got outboxed again in this fight again.
But I think that's part of Look, I agree with you, but I also think that's part of Wilder's plan is to because look, I mean, as soon as he felt ready to land a big shot on Ortiz, he did, and he knocked him out, right? I mean, I give him credit for that because that's hard to do to another man. That's a heavyweight boxer like you, who's experienced. So I give him props for that. But what I'm trying to say to you is, look, I knew he was going to beat him. There was no doubt in my mind he was going to win the fight. Okay, credit to Wilder, he won the fight. He's going to fight Tyson Fury, but let's just say
you're talking about top 5. You're talking about top 5 heavyweight. You knew
I think more like top 10, if maybe, but fine. If he's a top,
but you knew Fury was going to beat Whalen, and it didn't go out. It didn't go as planned. And he's not top 5-ish. He's not even top 20.
But no, I get what you're saying. But you see, look, what you're saying is what a fighter does with somebody else should not. What are you saying that because he struggled with a top 50? Top 20 fighter deserve a shot. Wilder, I mean, I don't. The white thing really gets me. It's like he's lost the fight.
Like it sounds like you wanted him to fight. That's kind of your main.
I want him to fight guys that are a threat. I want to fight guys that are a threat. You
want that Stavern fight, that trilogy.
Right. I mean, it'd be cool if I'm going to give Ortiz the fight. Let me ask you that.
What was the question? I didn't hear it.
All right, so let's say Wilder today tells you, let's say he fights Tyson Fury, beats him, he says, you know what, I'm going to fight Ortiz in my next fight. Are you going to be cool with that after he knocked him out twice?
No, because we just saw that.
Okay, then that's how I felt about the first fight.
Yeah, you didn't.
The first fight, I already saw him knock him out, and I knew.
Did you not like the first fight? Did you not like the first Ortiz fight? That was one of the best fights of the heavyweight.
I liked it. He almost lost. He lost. He almost lost that
And
fight,
fought,
but
and
he
chose
was
to
getting
fight him
worse
again, and he chose to fight
with
him
his last
again
2 fights.
3 months to go for the rematch of Fury. Like, come on, like that was stupid on Wilder. How are you gonna fight someone that almost beats you, that had you hurt, and you got 3 months to go for the rematch? Like that takes a lot of. I give him credit. It's kind of stupid, but he gets credit for knocking him out. So you gotta give him.
Oh, of course, you're gonna get credit for knocking. He gets credit for knocking out
How
Ortiz.
much credit? The question is how much.
Right. That's the question. It's like, okay, he beat Ortiz. That was on the he knocks out Ortiz in the first fight. Ortiz gives him a really good fight and almost knocks him out. Right. We both would agree with that. It was adversity that Wilder overcame and won. But after that, his last couple of fights going into the Wilder fight rematch, he didn't look good, brother. That's what I'm trying to say. He didn't look like, we need to see Wilder Ortiz too. That's what I'm saying.
Good? Wilder or Ortiz? I'm sorry, Matrix. Wilder or Ortiz didn't look good the last couple of fights.
Well, no, I'm talking about Ortiz. Ortiz didn't look good in his last 2 fights, or last 2 or 3 after the first Wilder loss, going into the Wilder rematch. He didn't look good. He wasn't like beating top names and blowing them out or outboxing them.
And guess what? And what did Ortiz look good last night? Because he outboxed Wilder 6-0. So it turns out he was pretty good. He came in his best shape of his life. Dude,
I think Wilder was giving him those rounds because he's not wasting his energy because he's not a good boxer, Wilder. He's not wasting his energy. He's saving that to do what he did in the 7th round, which was to knock him out with 1 punch, bro. He knocked him out. Keep this in mind. He knocked him out with 1 shot. That was it.
Yeah, he's saving his energy. And he's not going to do more than throw the right hand because he opens himself to be countered more. So just keep doing the right hand and leaning back when you're getting countered until you find that shot. And that shot came when an old Ortiz tired out.
Yep.
I mean, but the dude still has power, man. I mean, he knocked out Brian Jennings. I mean, Klitschko didn't even knock out Brian Jennings. Like, Ortiz has power. He's the only fighter that in the heavyweight division that has power and can box, honestly.
Yeah, I think a lot of boxing fans play the triangle theory. That shit is garbage, man.
Yeah, come on.
It's been proven out through history.
How's that garbage?
It's garbage.
It's
it doesn't work. It doesn't add up.
It's not very reliable.
Listen, Roberto Duran got 1 piece.
I know. I can only go. I know, but
I'll give you an example. Roberto Duran got knocked out with 1 punch by Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns got knocked out by Iran Barkley and outboxed by Iran Barkley. Iran Barkley got outboxed by little Roberto Duran. Your triangle theory is garbage. It's been proven millions of times.
Yeah, but I can only give you examples of who, like in this box record.
Yeah, because
I know, but what I'm saying is not a good example.
You can only do that. You can only do that because Wilder has a shitty record. That's why you have to rely on triangle theories. You said it yourself. It's the only way. Yeah, it is.
It's not that shitty compared.
It's
He's
very
knocking
shitty.
everyone out. Like
Povetkin has a better record.
Like, you know.
Povetkin has a better record.
Look at, overall,
Dylan White has a better record lately.
Okay, it's arguably like AJ has a little bit better record.
It's embarrassing.
I mean,
he's a champion.
Though. Like, I mean, you can't be that good of a record when you
he's
have
a WBC champion, though. All right. Anything else before we move on?
Yeah. I just want to say, I mean, AJ's record's not that good. He has a knock. But I mean, I think you guys should stop hating on all these heavyweights. I mean, it's a great era. We're in a great era. I've been a boxing fan like for the last 15 years, and before these last 2 years, I can't remember any heavyweight fight that was good from like Tyson Lewis to AJ Klitschko. Like, what happened between in those 15 years? Like, what the hell? And you guys are like complaining about this.
They fight each other.
Lennox Lewis versus Ray Mercer. There was Randall Holyfield versus Mike Tyson 1.
Yeah,
there was a lot of great fights. I don't know what you've been missing out.
He's talking.
I agree, they're monsters, but they haven't fought each other. When have only Fury fought Wilder the first time, but it was a draw, was controversial. Come on, we just needed to see it again.
Yo, the top 4 heavyweights are about to fight each other in less than 3 months. We're gonna get one next.
Well, until I see it happen, man. Until I see it happen, I'm gonna keep calling it out.
It took a long time.
You just saw the first.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years, bro.
Months ago.
So the record
I'm kind of glad it's happening.
You guys want to
Wilder
I just think you guys should appreciate this era and just remember that we came from the Klitschko era. They're good. It's not their fault. They're good, but I mean, that shit was boring as hell.
Wilder has 10 title defenses, and his biggest win is Old Man Ortiz. And before that, it was Stiverne. All right, and people are already comparing him to Ali because of 10. They're comparing the 10 title defenses. They're not even comparable.
Hey, caller, I like Wilder for who he is, but I don't need to over-exaggerate like his achievements.
Anyways, call back again next
time. The achievements are not that good.
All right, let's go move on. Thanks for the phone call, man.
Yeah.
Call back again. Take care.
Thanks, man.
Yep. All right. Anybody else wants to now talk, I guess?
There's no the Wilder Fury fight was good, but there was no exclamation point on that fight. It needs to happen. It was one of the most controversial endings. Okay, so we need to see it again, and that's good.
Yeah, I don't know why we had to wait a year and 2 months, but it's happening, so I'm glad.
It's fine. I mean, look, they're gonna fight. They're still both relatively in their prime. Yeah, let's see the fight happen again. Hopefully, it goes off with no bullshit, and we get a fight, and whoever wins, that's it.
Yep. Fury is gonna come in.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry, wouldn't you guys agree? This is not hate on Wilder, but like Fury needs to start doing something. Well, he's fighting the rematch, but he hasn't been like an exceptional. Hasn't been taking the best competition either. So yeah.
I agree with that.
Be said about him.
Yeah, people think that
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, people think we're only shitting on Wilder, but we've been shitting on Fury too. I mean, fighting Wallin, and Wallin actually turned out to be a decent opponent. Who did he fight at before that? Christian Hammer? No.
Tom Schwartz.
Schwartz, yeah. We criticize Fury for that, of course, but we've been criticizing Wilder even more because he has 10 title defenses. Can you believe that? 10 title defenses. I mean, come on.
You see, you know how you know that there was a push to make Wilder a champion? The very fact that he won a belt against Bermane Stiverne, and when they asked him, are you ready to fight the Klitschko's, who, Vladimir Klitschko, who was still a champion at the time, they said no. And this guy has 10 title defenses. Think about that for a second. They asked Wilder if he was ready. They asked Shelly Finkel or Schinkel, whatever the fuck his last name is. They asked him
Finkelstein
if there was is there gonna be a fight between Vladimir and Wilder in the near future. They said no. Not right now. He's still learning. He's still learning his way. But then why would you have him fight for a belt if he's still learning his way? So that goes to show you why he's got 10 title defenses right there. Okay, he's got it's unbelievable, that a guy that when he won the belt, his own promoter said, or his manager said, my fighter's not ready for Vladimir Klitschko.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was admitted.
And And the other guy, Anthony Joshua, he was fighting better competition. He was fighting Parker. He was fighting Povetkin. And he was only going to make his U.S. debut. So he was going to take a lighter touch in Jerome Miller, which a lot of people were high on. But then he fell out. So Andrew Ruiz took his place, a really good fighter that nobody knew nothing about. Now he's stepping into this rematch, and nobody's calling that a cherry pick. That's a real good fight. And a lot of people are going to be watching that. Just that shows you, like, the event. People are going to tune into it. That's a opponent quality fight. Yeah.
Hey, can I?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no comparison, in my opinion, to AJ's resume versus Wilder.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ is.
Look at this. Look at this. Recognize. AJ is right here, not number 4. He fought Dillian Whyte, who's number 5. He fought Andrew Ruiz over here. He fought Povetkin, that's at number 7. He fought Joseph Parker at number 8. I mean, and Wilder has fought from this list that I'm showing you right now. He only fought Luis Ortiz twice.
So look, you got one guy who's only fought Luis Ortiz twice, right? He's fought a guy who came off a long layoff in Tyson Fury. That's it. That's all he's like. Really, that's all he's fought. If you want to say like Duhaupas was decent, I agree. Like Duhaupas is a decent fighter. He's not great, right? But there's a lot of fights that he had. But Mason Verne was his best name for a long time before he fought Ortiz, and you know, then it was Ortiz, and then when he fought a guy who had like elite status before he retired, you know, beating Vladimir Klitschko, he gets outboxed. At least for me, I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know, Wilder clearly got outboxed for 12 rounds. I'm not saying he lost every round, but he got outboxed, and I do give him credit because I thought he almost won the fight by knockout. Right? He ends up getting outboxed for 12 rounds, only to almost knock out Tyson Fury. So I do give him a shot, but the Wilder fans, they just want to inaugurate him the greatest ever before it's even done. It's like he's the greatest ever because he has a awesome right hand, and basically that's really all he has. What else does Wilder do? That's
you're an American, so can you explain to me why? Like I understand people root for certain fighters because of they're the same ethnicity or nationality, whatever. But why is Wilder such a? I don't know. He's everybody. I'm gonna put this. I don't wanna.
I know what you're trying to say. Look.
Yeah. Why Wilder is he getting so much attention? Well, why Wilder?
Okay. First of all, social media are filled with a lot of weirdos. Okay, it doesn't really represent what's going on in the streets. Now, I talk boxing with a lot of other people, and I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to make videos where I talk to people who just like love to talk about boxing. A lot of these guys are boxers, but they don't follow boxing. You get what I'm saying? They're boxers in the sense that they go to the gym. They go to the gym where I grew up at, and they just like to fight, right? To get their workout in. And some of them are up on the names. And you got to hear the way they talk about Wilder. There's a big difference than social media. These are black kids. They ain't no coons. Okay? These are dudes that if these black dudes call coons in their face, they might get killed. Like literally die. They might die. Like there's there's nothing you could do about saving their life. Okay? And they'll tell you, yeah, I like that dude, but he's a sloppy fighter. They tell you straight out, he's sloppy, man. But he got a hell of a right. They keep it honest. The ones that do know about him. The ones that don't know about him, they're like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. That's it,
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
It's like Andy Ruiz. He might look fat, but he's a good fighter. And if he had another deficiency that was glaring, I would call it. I would say, look, this guy can't take a punch. He's slow. He's got his feet are slow too, but there's no glaring thing sticking out there that I can say bad about Andy Ruiz. So of course he's from my type of background. So yeah, of course I'm gonna be a fan, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna not point out his weaknesses, right?
Absolutely, that's a good
Look,
point.
Absolutely.
You know what's funny?
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
As far as Ortiz being a top 5, he got to beat a top 10 to be a number 5. If you're gonna be a top 10, he got to beat a top 20. You guys get it? If he beats a top 10, he's number 5 because that cuts in half. So who has he fought Ortiz to be qualified among the top 10, top 15? And Parker and White got better resumes than Ortiz. Okay.
Yeah.
And Fury and Wilder have the weakest resumes.
For years, I've heard all these cornballs online go after Triple G and say that he's fought nobody. They're all bums. Everybody's fought was a bum. And then I'm like, well, what about Wilder? Wilder's fought nothing but bums. He's fought guys that are not even in the top 10 rank.
But he's a heavyweight. There's so many. I heard them all.
It's such a corny argument. It's like you guys contradict yourself all the time. One guy's being ducked. Actually, some people are actually admitting, right? You have Felix Sturm, who came up with the whole WBA super title just not to fight Gennady Golovkin, admitted by his promoter. Okay, so Felix Sturm's promoter admits they created the Super WBA so they don't have to fight Gennady Golovkin. All right, you got all these people actively ducking him, like actively like saying, "No, I'm not interested in fighting him." Okay, and so he gets like this what people think is subpar competition. Fine, Wilder is actually choosing not to fight Vladimir Klitschko after beating Bermane Stiverne. Okay, and he's the greatest ever. He's the greatest.
It's laughable, man.
Yeah, of course it is, man.
It doesn't make sense. It's anyways, let's get to a phone call before I start ranting as well. 929, you're on the air. 929, Virtuoso, I think.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
What's up? What's on your mind?
No, I just think that these Wilder fans, well, stands, because like they're really obsessed with Wilder. I mean, I get it's a freak show, you know. He has like legendary power, but like he ain't fight nobody, you know. Before
Can you guys hear me?
2018.
Hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you, recognize.
No, go ahead, Virtuoso. Sorry, they couldn't hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Nah, I'm just saying like, these Wilder stands, they really have a selective memory of what took place, you know, prior to him to 2018. I mean, it was really like just him fighting dead bodies, you know, dead men walking, and his competition didn't really pick up to 2018. And when I discussed like these, you know, the fight with Fury, they have a selective memory of what really took place. I mean, they just like black out like after Wilder knocked him down for like the second time in the 12th round. Like, did they forget like what happened afterwards when he got off the deck? Like he came in swinging, and this whole narrative that he's scared, you know, that Fury's scared. I mean, look, this is prize fighting. You know, everybody's trying to get that bag. You know, I don't blame Fury for wanting to get that deal with Top Rank. You know, it's like that's just how the business is. So when Wilder brags about like getting all this, he's getting paid millions more than what he was offered to fight AJ, and that he doesn't want to fight guys like his Mandatory. He doesn't want to fight Povetkin. It's like that gets brushed aside because hey, he's the greatest of all time, right? And now you have like this week you had George Foreman actually saying that Mike Tyson is harder than him, even though Foreman never fought him. You know, it should have happened, but that's him giving a lot of props. I just telling people like, hey man, history doesn't revolve around this guy. Like, yeah, he's a heavyweight champion of the world, but like he only has one portion of the undisputed crown. You know, I mean, why did he, you know, they jump on fighting Ruiz? You know, that's another question. You know. That just bugs me. It just, you know, it's really weird.
Yeah, you can't compare them. It's getting out of control. It's really getting out of control. Wilder just beat Ortiz a second time, and all of a sudden there's all these comparisons with Ali, and then there's all this praise. Now Wilder's unstoppable. It seems it doesn't matter if he loses round, he's gonna knock you out. But people, I mean, did you see the Fury fight? He got back up. Go ahead, Virtuoso.
Yeah, I mean, this past fight with Ortiz, I mean, that goes to show it's like there's just no fun in like watching him fight. Like if he's gonna do that, he's gonna stand around there for like 6 rounds and then all of a sudden he's gonna turn it up. I mean, stop wasting the fans' time. I mean, he could have done that in the second round if he wanted to. Like Ortiz is like, you know, 72 years old. Like the way he's down, they basically like he was fighting like a young one. But then as soon as Wilder hit him with that straight right, that guy disintegrated into a pile of dust. That's just how fucking quickly he got old. And it just doesn't make sense how they could have at least put this on Fox, on free TV. You know how you know all these PBC fanboys like to talk about, we get you know, yeah, these are showcase fights, but at least we're getting free fights. The whole free fight thing, it's like around PBC. That whole marketing ploy, that's a stick and carrot. They're dragging people like mostly casuals to watch these guys, and then
That's a
the
great
other thing
fucking
is
point that
yeah,
Virtuoso just came up. Yeah, that's a great point about,
yeah,
that one punch that he hit him with in the 7th round. He could have probably done that in the 2nd round. It makes you wonder if he's just like, think about this for a second. This is not like a props to Wilder. No, this is nothing about. It's kind of like shows you the state that Ortiz is in. Just think about this. He knocked him out with one punch, bro. The first real hard punch he threw at him got him out. Why couldn't he have done that in the 2nd round?
To this day.
To this day, okay?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even like turn his hips or anything, and like it didn't look as hard as the way he hit him the first time around. I think it's more like psychological with Ortiz. Like once he hits you, that's it. It's over. Like I can't beat this guy, and you saw it in his face. Like it's like the look of shock. Like he just had a stroke.
Yeah, exactly. He got hit so hard, and that's like the beauty of attacking someone, right? Like if I know it sounds harsh, somebody saying the beauty of it, the best thing as somebody attacking someone is to hit them with something that puts them in shock, and that's they don't see the punch coming, right? They don't see it, or they thought they were gonna block it, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere it hits them and they don't expect it. And so you see Ortiz with the shock look of a man who, like somebody just threw a bucket of cold water at him out of nowhere, So so he could have did look, to your point. Why he didn't do that in the 2nd round? And he probably could have, right? Like I think your point was that he probably could have got him out of there in the 2nd round if he really wanted to. And this fight should have been put on regular Fox. That's it.
Yep.
Exactly. It would have got him like more views. Because like pay-per-view, that thing is just like that's such an archaic system. Like just putting fights on pay-per-view, like paying like you're gonna end up paying like what $275 a year for pay-per-views, especially PBC. They don't want to let go of that. I mean, it's like the people are pirating shit. I didn't even fucking pay for that shit. I knew this thing was gonna happen. So it's like we're fun in purchasing a fight, a Wilder fight. You know what's gonna happen. It's the same old story that it's starting to get old. And the way he built up to that, I mean, he really gonna do. And I just think like that kind of that tactic of him like measuring distance, not throwing enough. Is saying like stationary, it's like it's gonna catch up to him. It's like let's say we did fought Usyk, and I don't know if Usyk can really take that power that take the heavy shot to heavyweight. That remains to be seen. But like he's not gonna give you that open look. He's gonna keep moving around and driving around and keep turning you. And if he's gonna bounce his ears off, and if he doesn't like knock him out, then it's basically left to the scorecards where basically stylistically he just looks lost out there, So he's just, I wouldn't say that Wilder is I wouldn't say he has no skill. Of course he has skill, but it's like his style is just very minimalistic. He's not doing much. It's like he's just conserving his energy for that one moment, that one big moment. If I see an open look, I'm gonna choke. And it's done.
Right, Virtuoso.
If we take the shot, then then it's bad news for him.
All right, man. Hey, Virtuoso, thanks for the phone call. We gotta move on, man. All right, take care.
All right.
That was Virtuoso. Very good points.
And let me just say this one thing real quick.
Yes.
When it comes to Wilder, I'm giving credit. I am giving him credit.
No,
he might be. Just hear me out for a second. He might be the best one-punch knockout artist. He might be. Like, he doesn't knock them out where they don't get back up. He's done it to a few guys. I think one guy really. Anyway, my point is that he does have a lot of power, but I'm not going to over-exaggerate that he's a great boxer. He does everything right. No, he doesn't. He gets hit, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous. I mean, for me, it makes it fun because I don't have a horse in the race. You know, I would like to see him knocked out. I'll be honest. I would like to see Wilder get knocked out just to see how his fan bitches react. That's it. You know, it's a boxing fight. I gotta go with Usyk.
Sure.
He could knock if he hits Usyk. It's over.
It's over. Yeah. It is over.
It's over.
Sakib Rafiq, thank you for the contribution. Apparently, the PBC LDBC supremacists can't count when it comes to rankings. Will they begin to question how math and basic numeracy works? One is a higher rank than number 2, and so on. Plebeians. Okay. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but there's a whole discussion. Sonny Boxing is still in the chat. Mr. BDA is in the chat as well. They are discussing. I think Sonny D made a comment about Wilder not having heart or something like that because he was obviously stopped by Andy Ruiz and apparently in sparring, but that we don't know if it's true. I do remember him getting dropped by Klitschko and getting back up. And my question has always been, if Wilder would have gotten hit by that same punch that Klitschko landed on Jesus Christ, on AJ, would Wilder have survived?
No, he did. I'm telling you, what happened there was when he hit AJ. If you go look at that fight, AJ's big legs gave out on him. So that punch was meant to affect the foundation fighter, his legs. Okay, so Wilder doesn't have the legs that what's his name has, AJ has, right? So he would have went down, and he probably gets up shaky. Okay, he probably gets up pretty shaky, and I put it this way: Wilder has more will, okay, but he cannot get caught with a shot that he hits people with. Okay, and that's what basically Klitschko did to AJ in that knockdown. That knockdown sequence, he did the same thing that AJ does, that Wilder does. He catches you off guard, and he hits you, and your body goes into like shock, right? It either has one or two reactions. It makes your whole body fall, or it rocks your legs, and your legs give out. Is what usually happens, and you go down. Wilder, I don't believe Wilder. It's just speculation, but I don't believe Wilder gets up from that shot. Could he have hit, shots from Klitschko? I'm sure he could have, but not that particular shot. He gets caught with that. He goes down, and he doesn't get back up.
So the legs.
Yeah. And to be fair, Wilder could have KO'd Klitschko too, older Klitschko, because he didn't have the greatest of chance if he would have caught him. But he didn't take that fight. Look, I wouldn't have a problem crowning Wilder as a good champion. He needs to have like good names on his resume. That's all. And I'm hoping to see that,
Yeah, we all want to see that for sure. I mean, that's the thing. We're not like some Wilder fans who's like, oh, I don't want to see this fight because, I want Dylan White to fight Ortiz first, or why? Like, no. We're not like that.
I think Wilder today beats that Vladimir Klitschko. I think Wilder today could beat him. But the Wilder in when that fight happened? 2017, 2016?
2015.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay,
15?
so 2016, 2017 Wilder, I think he beats that Vladimir Klitschko. No.
All right. 757, I think it's G Boogie. Is that you?
No, this is Sunny Boxing Talk. One more game.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yes, sir. I just want to clarify. It seems like I may have offended someone.
Okay.
They're saying that I'm making racist statements. I believe when I called, I was very, very respectful. I kept it boxing, and I didn't say anything in the chat that was pointing anything near towards race. Like, we're having a fun debate. We're talking about boxing. Boxing is a sport that we all love, obviously. So if can somebody help me to understand what did I say that you felt that?
Well, in the chat, let's somebody answer that question.
It was Honcho talking shit on G Boogie. What's up, G Boogie?
That's not G Boogie. That's Sonny D.
Sonny D. My bad.
Sonny Boxing.
I thought you sound like G
fucking drink. Yeah, that's Sonny Boxing. He called earlier.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know your situation, Sonny.
He was he was defending,
so I'm not gonna answer.
No, he was defending Deontay Wilder, but he says that somebody's saying that he's getting racial in the chat or something. I don't know, guys. Let us know what's happening.
I didn't see anything racial in the chat
didn't.
at all.
I know.
But somebody was accusing me of saying
of committing
racial,
somebody was accusing you of committing a racism.
Hey, Mr. BDA in the chat, let us know what's going on.
I would like to point.
Go ahead.
I would like to make one good point.
All right.
There is a
good
disconnect between UK fighters and the fighters here in America. A lot of people in the United States, we're not familiar with Dillian White and a lot of his opponents. So when we look at Dillian White, when we watch his highlights, he doesn't look like it as far as skill wise. For example, Eddie Hearn and they chose Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz, he didn't even have a full camp. They thought that they was really, going to be, fighting somebody that's tough, but they didn't know what they were in for. But the thing that they did good is they had to fight in the United States.
I mean, the one thing I would say,
fighters, they need to come here to the States so they can make a name for themselves. Because we here, and because like y'all fights is a wholly different kind. You know what I'm saying? We don't get to really see if Dillian White is really good. Like all of us here in the States, we look at Dillian White as a bum. Like he looks like a bum to us. But
wait. I'm from the States. I'm from the States, caller. I'm from the States. That's not true. I don't look at Dillian White as a not in this heavyweight era. Not in this heavyweight era. No, he's not. Okay? He beat Joseph Parker. Right? He's beat Chisora. Now, I've watched these guys' fights throughout the years. Okay? It's available to me just like it's available to everybody else. So if people in the States view Dillian White as a bum because they feel like he hasn't fought anybody, that's a lack of effort. That means they didn't try to watch his fights. Because I can see them. I watch his fights.
As soon as you finish.
And he's not a bum. Now, if you ask me who do I think will win between him and Wilder, I got Wilder to beat him. But that doesn't mean that that's not an interesting fight. Who the fuck cares what I think is going to happen?
It has to happen.
It has to happen. Because I think ain't going to say, let's not have that fight. Let's not, Dillian White, I know he's a top 10, top 5 contender. Because I think Wilder will knock him, I'm not interested in seeing it. No, Wilder hasn't done it.
Right,
Wilder hasn't. Go ahead.
2 points. First is a question, but I'm gonna make this point first. Joseph Parker, Joshua came down to the States and fought. How did that do? Second point. You already feel that Wilder would beat Dillian White.
Correct.
So you in a way, you kind of prove my point. Like most of us in the States, we see Dillian White getting slumped just like Bermain Vern.
Yeah, but we're talking about a guy who has the ability to knock out Wilder too. Okay, he does have the ability.
Do you think Dillian White is better than Tyson Fury?
He has better power than him, but I would say Tyson Fury is the better boxer. Yeah, Tyson Fury is the better boxer.
Yeah, he is.
But But just like I think he's the better boxer between him and Deontay Wilder. The difference is that Wilder has more power than him, so he can make mistakes and bail himself out. I think the same thing applies for Dillian White. Dillian White doesn't have the boxing skills that Fury has, but he could bail himself out with one punch. Yeah, he could. He could do the same thing with Wilder too. If Wilder makes a mistake, clips Wilder in the where he don't see it coming, he can knock him out. That's why I want to see it. You see, if Wilder's the best, he proves it. That makes me a fan automatically because he's following boxing tradition. That's tell me who are the best fighters out there. Who's the guy that's talking shit about me? Oh yeah, put him in the ring.
If you were to ask me as far as heavyweight, the top boxers, I would say Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Joseph Parker.
You know something? I like that list. I don't agree with it, but I like it. And because you feel that way, right? If I felt that way, the difference between, let's say, I don't want to speak for you. The difference between me and you would be is I want Wilder to fight those guys, right? To prove my point.
Right.
Let's say if I had Wilder at number one, which I don't really have a problem with that, to be honest with you, because he can knock these guys out with one punch and win the fight, right? So the difference is I want to see him prove that. I don't want people to make excuses and be like, oh, he will. I don't want him to fight Usyk because Usyk is lit. He'll beat him. No, show me he could beat Usyk.
Proof.
I want to see it. Okay, I want to see that happen.
Right, can I ask all of you guys a question? And this is a true boxing fan right here. I'm about to ask you.
All
Everybody
right.
in the chat, listen up. I think we're all boxing fans. We all here talking about it's up late. Like I'm late. I got off work. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we gotta end it.
Would you rather see a unification fight where we have one champion with all the belts first, or do you want to see like so if we can put the fight into let's chronological order, because from what I understand, Deontay Wilder's plan is to finish off Tyson Fury. After he loses again to Anthony Ruiz, he goes to fight Andy Ruiz, and then I believe he's going to give Dillian White his shot.
I'm okay with that.
Would you rather see him fight Dillian White first?
No, what you just said.
What is a better fight to you?
The first option.
Are you?
Yeah, I agree with your first option, but there's a flip side to that. Let's say for whatever reason that doesn't work out. In the meantime, if it doesn't work out, stay busy fight Dillian White. You get what I'm saying?
See,
so, say Ruiz
I
wins the
understand what
fight.
you're saying, but you do know Andy Ruiz and Wilder have already talked. So contractually, unless something happens to Tyson Fury, that is the next fight. As a matter of fact, it was supposed to be an immediate rematch, but apparently Tyson Fury opted to have 2 fights first. So he got his 2 fights first. Now he has to fight Deontay Wilder. So after he beats
the
Fury,
Wilder fight.
That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
that's what I believe.
Okay. All right, so this is what I would like.
Andy Ruiz, because I've heard. I'm gonna say this one last thing. I heard Deontay Wilder out of his own mouth say that White can have a shot. So I feel like after he beats Andy Ruiz, fight is up next.
Well,
yeah, it could be very well possible. It could be very well happen that way. I hope
But
that
see, Dylan, why he messed
whoever
himself
wins,
up? Where's the B sample?
you gotta ask Yukata why they taking so long with the B sample. You gotta ask
You see what
them.
I'm saying? Like he's messing himself up.
No, wait. Time out. The way I understand it, Yukata has his B sample. They're the ones taking too long with the B sample. On Vada's end, correct me if I'm wrong, Bucho. Vada's saying he passed. Am I right about that?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well, from my understanding, I've heard that they haven't turned it in yet. As a matter of on
No, you see the B sample
78 Sports TV.
Yeah, but 78 Sports is a propaganda. 78 Sports has proven to be a propaganda.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Look, I don't take no disrespect. I don't take anything 78 Sports says seriously. I'm not saying he's not right, but if he tells me,
no, I'm not saying that he said it. I'm saying Deontay Wilder said it. He just interviewed him yesterday.
He went on that show.
Look, Deontay Wilder is interested in playing mind games with Dillian White than actually knocking him out. Okay, he's more into that for whatever reason. I don't think Wilder's afraid of him. I just think that Wilder is caught up on the ego trip of I'm the WBC champion and I can do what I want. You're just a contender. Okay. So there might be a little friction there. You shouldn't take Deontay's word for it. From what I heard was that in terms of USADA, and I could Vada, and you can ask somebody else to verify it. I might be wrong. They cleared him. They said he's fine. UKADA, that's the UK's version where Dillian White is from. They're saying there's something wrong. So a foreign entity, if I'm right, VADA, based out of America, is saying that Dillian White is fine. The other one, the one that's from his country, is saying not so fast. Okay, so if I'm right about that. There's really no bias there. There might be something else going on. Okay, obviously it's not a home. It's not a home field bias. There might be a little fuckery going on there. Okay, whether it's to cover Dillian White or it's to, X him out the game. Remember, Deontay Wilder doesn't have much control of this. If somebody's trying to fuck Dillian White, it really is not Deontay Wilder saying get him out of there. He don't have that kind of power. Okay, he's just a man with. You understand what I'm saying? So, look, back to your point.
Indeed.
I would rather see Wilder and whoever unify first. What I'm saying is, for whatever reason, if that fight can't happen, let's say the winner between AJ and Ruiz, for whatever reason, they're not ready for their next fight to be a unification fight, so they decide to go for a mandatory defense. Let's just say, right? Let's say that happens. Right. In the meantime, Wilder could stay busy and fight Dillian White or fight a top contender. I'll be okay with that. But if everything goes right and whoever wins between Ruiz and AJ, and they're all down for a unification fight, and assuming Wilder beats Fury, and that's the next fight, who in their right mind is going to have a problem with it?
Guys, we're going to have to end the
show.
show.
What? I feel like, can I say this one last thing? I feel like if that fight doesn't happen, that Dillian fight will happen next.
Okay, we'll see about that. But thanks for calling Sonny Boxing Talk. Call back again next time.
Take it easy.
All right, take care. Recognize, thank you for joining us. Who also was here? McGregor was here. Sorry, Mark. Gonzalo, Pete.
I'm sorry if I talked up everybody else's time, man. I apologize.
No, it's okay, man. It's an interesting conversation. You're making some very good points, man.
Sorry, Pete.
Pete is... I don't know what he's doing. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Great show. Everybody in the
Peace. Happy
chat.
holidays to everybody.
Oh, yeah. Thanksgiving in the U.S. Lobitos and Boxing. Also, thank you for joining us. Pugalakan. Who else is in the chat? Some shout-outs here. Some quick shout-outs. Sakib, Rafik, Triple JJJ, The Funktopus. Who else? SSB28, Doc, The Shipper of Sons. Was he there? Body Aces, Joe Lopez, 40 ounces, Pink Panther. Guys, thank you for joining us. We will see you next time. Take care. Oh, don't forget to check out our Discord page. The link is in the description. Discord is it's like a place where we can chat 24/7. So if you like boxing, which I'm sure you do because you're here, join us on Discord so we can chat 24/7. Wait, the fuck? That's not the song. Here we go.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
Take care, peasants.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing.
Lobito!
Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.
To this day, we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. Hey!